The reason why you see a huge box in the middle of the screen is because I'm hiding my predictions. Alright, what's up guys, this is Stanley here, and today is another PC video for you guys. It is not a gaming video today, it is a NHL hockey video for today. So if you're a hockey fan, just stay tuned and you'll see what's going to happen. You can already see on the screen what's going to happen. And if you're here for gaming videos, I'm sorry, just go on the link down below and there'll be some gaming videos there for you. So what I have today is a Stanley Cup Playoffs Bracket Challenge for 2015. Alright guys, so without further ado, let's jump in. As you can see in your top left corner, it says round 1, and on that is the teams. So let's start with, we have in the Western Conference, the St. Louis Blues versus the Minnesota Wild, and then we have the Nashville Predators versus the Chicago Blackhawks, and then we have Anaheim Ducks versus the Winnipeg Jets, and we have finally Vancouver Canucks versus the Calgary Flames. And now in the Eastern Conference, we got my beautiful Montreal Canadiens versus Ottawa Senators, and then we got Tampa Bay Lightning versus Detroit Red Wings, and then we have New York Rangers versus Pittsburgh Penguins, and finally the Washington Capitals versus the New York Islanders. So let's start with the Western Conference. So round 1, we got St. Louis Blues versus the Minnesota Wild. They are both amazing hockey teams. St. Louis Blues has phenomenal offense, just like the Minnesota Wild. They have awesome offense, but defensively, I will give it to the St. Louis Blues because of Pietrangelo and Shattenkirk. I think he's not injured anymore. I don't know. Tell me in the comments if you know. And Bouwmeester. But defensively, Minnesota is not quite there. But there's Ryan Suter. He is amazing. And goalie-wise, I have to give to the Minnesota Wild with Dubnyk. He has been on fire in the last couple of games. And on the other side, Brian Elliott, he's not a bad goalie. I will tell you that. But I think Dubnyk is better. But with the offense of TJ Oshie, Tarasenko, he has been amazing this season. I will give it to the St. Louis Blues in round 1 versus those two. And now the second matchup is Nashville Predators versus the Chicago Blackhawks. Wow, Nashville is last season they did terrible. I don't remember, they're like the bottom 10 in the league. Tell me if I'm wrong or not in the comments. But Chicago is a phenomenal hockey team. They have studs like Taves, Kane, Sharp, Hossa, so many more. And defensively, Seabrook, Keith, and Crawford and Nets, who is awesome as well. But what I have for you guys is that the Chicago Blackhawks will take that series. Sorry, for the St. Louis Blues one, I forgot to tell you, I think St. Louis will take it in 7 games, and I believe Chicago will take it in 7 games as well, because it's going to be a tight series, because they're both phenomenal hockey teams, and they'll be going head-to-head. Everything will count. So yeah, I think the Chicago Blackhawks will win it, because Kane is definitely back. Yes, he is back from injury. If you don't know, a couple months ago, he missed like 20 last 20 games of the NHL season. So he is back and he is on fire. He is not rusty whatsoever. He is just phenomenal. And I give it to the Chicago Blackhawks. Now we have Anaheim Ducks versus the Winnipeg Jets. Once again, both awesome teams, but I'm happy that there is a Canadian team. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Canadian teams in the NHL. I am proud of my country. But anyways, but I have to give to the Anaheim Ducks because their offense is stacked, the defense is stacked, and their goaltending is stacked. Oh my god, they're an amazing team. But the Winnipeg Jets, their offense is okay, the goalies are okay, and the defense is okay. Not as like huge standards, but I will give to Anaheim Ducks because Corey Perry, Brian Getzlaf, they're just phenomenal, and they're an awesome team overall. And I'll give it to the the Anaheim Ducks. And last in the Western Conference, oh baby, the Battle of Alberta, I think. Or I think I'm wrong. I don't know. Vancouver Canucks versus the Calgary Flames. Oh boy, do I ever want to watch this series. If it's not the Montreal Canadiens and the Ottawa Senators, I want to watch the Vancouver Canucks and Calgary Flame. I love both of them. I want Calgary to win, but I think Vancouver will win. Just since I was younger, since I ever started playing hockey, I was like, oh wow, the Flames, like the logo looks okay, sick. There's like flame, the fire and everything. And recently, getting Johnny Gaudreau, Johnny Hockey as he calls himself, Mark Giordano, the captain, he has led his team, and yeah, wow, Kari Ramo, wow, sorry. But I think that the Vancouver Canucks will take this because they have veteran guys who have playoff experience, and they have been to the playoff Stanley Cup Finals before against Boston. Unfortunately, they lost, but they have so much experience comparing to Calgary Flames. They don't have that much playoff experience. I will give it to the Calgary Flames, but I want I'll give it to Vancouver Canucks. What the hell am I saying? Vancouver has veteran guys that have been to the playoffs many times, and I want Calgary to win, but I think Vancouver will. Now let's jump out to the Eastern Conference with my beautiful Montreal Canadiens versus the Ottawa Senators. Ottawa is a tough team with the new goalie, Andrew Hammond, also known as the Hamburglar. I don't really give a shit about his nickname. But we do have a brick wall in the net. Carey Price, if he stays healthy during the whole playoffs, Montreal will go far. They will. Just trust me on that. So offensively, we lost Max Pacioretty. He might be there for game 2 or game 3, hopefully. But other than that, we are a good team nonetheless. And this is gonna be, wow, I completely forgot. For the Vancouver and Flames series, I believe that will go to 7 games because it is gonna be a tight series. And the Anaheim and Winnipeg, it will go to 5 games. So sorry, I'm not keeping up with the games. But the Montreal and Ottawa, I believe Montreal will take it in 6 games. Yes, four games for Montreal and 2 games for the Ottawa Senators. This is going to be a tough matchup. Carey Price versus Andrew Hammond. That's going to be very, very, very tough. So next on, we're going to have the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Detroit Red Wings. Detroit Red Wings is a very veteran team. They have Datsuk, Zetterberg, Gustav Nyquist. They're a very good team. But Tampa Bay Lightning is a stacked team this year. They are playing phenomenal. But Montreal, obviously, they got more points than them. Woohoo! Sorry, but yeah, Montreal lost to them. Like they got swept in the season. Sorry. So yeah, but their offense is Stamkos, Jonathan Drouin, Victor Hedman, Filppula, Johnson. The list goes on, and especially Bishop. Man, he is amazing. But I will give it to the Tampa Bay Lightning, and I believe they'll win in 6 games, just like the Montreal series. And second to last series is the New York Rangers versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is going to be a hell of a series. Well, I think Rangers will win it because out of all of these teams, I think Rangers might be the most stacked team. Getting Keith Yandel in the trade deadline is a huge, tremendous move because now the defense is stacked, offense is stacked, and Henrik Lundqvist in the net, and Cam Talbot is an amazing backup. But I think Rangers will take it in 6 games once again. And now the last series, which is Washington Capitals versus the New York Islanders. This is going to be an amazing, amazing series, just like the Vancouver one. I think Washington Capitals will take it because of Alex Ovechkin. He will carry his team further, and Brandon Hope because he is an amazing, amazing goalie, and Mike Green. Mike Green hasn't been having the greatest season, but he is an awesome defenseman either way. So, Islanders, they have a good team. They have Tavares, Okposo, Brock Nelson, Halak. He's an awesome goalie in the playoffs. That guy, he is amazing in the playoffs. So, I will give it to the Washington Capitals because I feel like Ovechkin will carry his team. So, that's it for round 1. Wow, that was a long round 1. Now, off to round 2. I got the St. Louis Blues versus the Chicago Blackhawks. Throwback to last season. Yes, they both faced off, and I believe it was the Chicago Blackhawks. Yes, they were the victor, I guess. But anyways, this season I believe that the Chicago Blackhawks will win once again against the St. Louis Blues. I don't know. I feel like Chicago's like an overpowered team. They are stacked. Like Patrick Kane, Taves, Corey Crawford. Sometimes Crawford does choke in the playoffs, but I believe he will be better this season. So like Sharp, like it's all of those guys. I believe the Chicago Blackhawks will bring it to their conference finals. And now we have the Ducks versus Anaheim. The Anaheim Ducks versus the Vancouver Canucks. What the hell am I saying? I believe that the Ducks will take the series because of Getzlaff, Perry, possibly Yuri Sekach, Jakob Silverberg, and Camp Fowler, Frederick Anderson. They're just an awesome team. I believe the Anaheim Ducks will bring it to the conference finals against the Chicago Blackhawks. And now for the second round in the Western Conference, we have the Montreal Canadiens versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. They faced off last season and Montreal swept them in 4 games. Pacioretty was amazing that series, but the thing is, they have become better in last season, and they have swept us in the season this year. But the difference between playoffs and season games are completely different. People are willing to give in their body just to get a goal or a win or whatever. People, when I say people, I mean like the NHL players. But I do believe Montreal will win this series once again because if Carey Price, if he stays healthy and Subban and Pacioretty, they all stay healthy, Montreal will go far. Because if Price, he's arguably the best goalie in the whole world. I believe that the this Price is amazing, and I believe they will go to their conference finals. And now we have the New York Rangers versus the Washington Capitals. I believe this is kind of a no-brainer that Rangers will win this series easily. Well, I know that Washington will put up a fight, but I believe the Rangers will take it to go to the conference finals. Now, the third round, also known as the semifinals, is the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Anaheim Ducks in the Western Conference. This is going to be a tough series. Chicago versus Anaheim. Wow. I don't know who to pick, but I believe Chicago will take it once again. They will go to the Stanley Cup Finals once again. I think the Chicago Blackhawks will win the series because of, just like I told you before, Taves, Kane, Sharp, Keith, Crawford. I believe they will go far and they will do well. But I believe that this is going to be I might be even wrong because Anaheim and Chicago will be a tough series. I believe that Chicago will win it just by the slight edge of being in the playoffs, having more experience in the playoffs, a tad bit more than the Anaheim Ducks. I believe Chicago will take the series. And now, just like last year, Montreal Canadiens versus the New York Rangers in the Eastern Conference Finals. Last year, unfortunately, the New York Rangers beat the Montreal Canadiens in 6 games, I believe. That was a well-fought series by the New York Rangers. They did have the edge because Carey Price got injured and got ran over by Chris Kreider, who was on a breakaway and unfortunately injured Price. I was so heartbroken when that happened. I got mad at Kreider. But once again, if Price stays healthy, he will bring his team to the Stanley Cup final. Yes, that is right, boys. I believe that the Montreal Canadiens will beat the New York Rangers in 6 or 7 games because Montreal's a great team. I know the New York Rangers won the President's Trophy, but that's just a trophy that they won this season. They did not win that in the Stanley Cup Finals, well, in the playoffs in general. I believe that the Montreal Canadiens will win against the New York Rangers. And now, the 2015 Stanley Cup Final champion, no, not the champion, well, 2015 Stanley Cup Final is the Chicago Blackhawks versus the Montreal Canadiens. This will be another tough series for both teams. They're both original 6 teams, and Chicago and Montreal will put up a fight. I believe that Montreal Canadiens will win their first Stanley Cup in over 15 or 20 years. Throwback to Jean Béliveau, Guy Lafleur, and Patrick Roy, all of them. Just wow. I believe the Montreal Canadiens will win against the Chicago Blackhawks, and the total goals scored in this series will be a 28. I believe it'll be like a 3 to 4 goals per game almost, but they are both great goalies, including Crawford and Carey Price. Once again, Price stays healthy, Price will bring his team to the top. If Price gets injured, I don't know if they're going to make it to the finals. I don't know if they're going to make it to the conference finals. I don't even know if they might even beat the Tampa Bay Lightning, but I believe Tokarski, he hasn't played the best this season, but I believe he will step up. And your 2015 Stanley Cup winner is my Montreal Canadiens. That is right, guys. There you go, guys. That's my bracket. Tell me what you guys think about my bracket in the comment section below, and tell me what your guys' bracket is in the comment section below. I would love to know, and tell me if you agree or disagree with my bracket. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Goodbye.